If you see me smiling in the camera, then I'm sorry, that's not me anymore. I drive an ice cream truck, not the colorful kind you see in movies. Mine's chipped, flashing lights like seizures, music warped like it's being strangled. I drive through old suburbs, places where kids still believe ice cream is magic. Lately, things have been strange. Boxes of ice cream missing, even with the freezer locked. So I installed a rear camera to catch whoever's stealing. But what I saw doesn't match what I remember. Wide eyes. On camera, I open the door and hand her an ice cream. But I swear, no one came that night. Then a boy. I was asleep in the back. But on video, I'm driving. I'm smiling, confident, like a pro. But I never woke up. Someone wore my face and drove. I wanted to abandon it, burn it, but it's my father's truck. He disappeared when I was 8. Police called it a runaway. My mother stayed silent. Then came a rusted key and a note. Want to know where he is? Drive the truck. I found it, still sitting in a forgotten lot, like it waited for me. I drove the same route he used to, hoping for answers. And I found them. He didn't disappear. He was murdered, right behind this freezer. I found a hidden compartment. Inside, an old VHS. On it, 1979, Unit 14, don't open. It showed kids trapped in the freezer compartment, cold, shivering. A man in company uniform locking them in. Then my father, panicked, calling for help, trying to free them. And then, he struck from behind, blood pooling near the ice cream bins. They didn't let him save them, and now, his soul is stuck with the truck. I looked in the rearview mirror. Someone sat in the passenger seat. I turned, no one. But in the mirror, my father's reflection. White eyes, mouth moving, but no sound. Each night I check the footage. I see me driving. But the expression isn't mine, it's his. Someone driving to finish what he couldn't say. Blood pooling near the ice cream bins. They didn't let him save them, and now his soul is stuck with the truck. I did what he couldn't. I brought the tapes, the records, the proof. A month later, they uncovered over 9 child remains behind the old lot. The culprit? Long dead. But the children, they never left. I placed a recorder in the freezer. That night, I heard a whisper, "Thank you." Then silence. Forever. Now I still drive, but there's no blood, no ghosts in the mirror. Just a man trying to finish what his father couldn't. If you see my truck parked outside and hear the old tune playing, don't worry. This time, the ice cream is just ice cream. Tonight, aboard a ferry gliding across the river of no names, I carry 4 souls. Not souls who starved for food, but for attention, likes, and live stream money. And that hunger, it chewed them from the inside out. She once said, "If I just eat long enough, I'll be famous." And so she ate, for 43 hours straight, her face bloated, eyes bloodshot, chest heaving. But the donations didn't stop. Neither did the fake smile. Until the 38th cake. She collapsed, vomiting frosting, half-chewed crumbs, and blood. The keyboard soaked red. The viewers thought it was a Halloween stunt. First comment? Realistic AF. Shares shot up 430%. He was only 15. One night he accepted the Reaper Chip Challenge. 10 chips. His mouth turned blood red. Sweat poured. But he smiled because the viewers laughed. "Next one, bro, let's go!" His heart cramped. His stomach burned. His chest screamed in silence. And when he finally collapsed, someone still had time to screenshot his death. This meme's gonna blow up. She was famous for eating things alive. That night, live octopus. The Sanakji twitched on the plate. She smiled, took a bite, and then a tentacle slid into her nose, crawled down her throat. Her arms spasmed. One final gasp. 100,000 people watched. Thought it was a really cool special effect. She died to the sound of hearts and emojis floating across the screen.
Wow.
Her smile was wide, her eyes cartoon big. She loved stuffing sausages on cam. "Try 10 more," they cheered. But on the 9th, she choked, coughed, clawed at her throat. No one helped. They thought it was scripted. The live stream cut to black. Connection lost. But her soul didn't disconnect. It stayed beside the camera, waiting to finally be swallowed. 4 souls, 4 final feasts. What they craved wasn't food, but to be seen. Now, no one's watching. Just me and this boat drifting them into the dark. The morning light slants through the McDonald's windows. Greg stands there, his hands gripping the tray, eyes vacant. When Emma asks, "Where's that tall guy? The one who's always smiling?" The question hits him like a cold bucket of water. The girl he's been secretly in love with for a year doesn't even remember his name. Frustration and envy surge within him. He can't stand the feeling of being ignored, and today, that loneliness feels sharper than ever. The soft golden light filters into the locker room, highlighting Caleb's friendly smile. Greg stands in the corner. Every smile from Caleb feels like a knife stabbing into his heart. When he sees the message, "I miss your smile," on Caleb's phone, a deep crack forms inside him. He can't bear the feeling of being rejected, jealousy burning like an undying flame in his chest. The kitchen is dark, the red light from the heater casting a glow on Greg's face. His hand grips the towel as he carefully places it in front of the hot frying pan. Every movement is deliberate, but inside, rage and hatred are rising. Fire burns in his mind. Caleb, the one always adored, now must pay the price. Though his actions seem calculated, the guilt sinks deep. Greg stands there, eyes locked on the pan, every movement calculated. But his mind is no longer in control. He is the one in control. Caleb is the prey. Everything happened too quickly. A slip, a streak of oil shot into the air. Then the flames erupted like a wild beast. The fire roared, engulfing everything in its fierce red light. Caleb fell, his body consumed by the flames in an instant. Only Greg stood there, eyes wide, unable to tear them away from the horrifying scene before him. Cold sweat poured down Greg's forehead, his face pale, mouth open but unable to utter a sound. His entire body trembled. He only wanted to make Caleb less perfect, to make him no longer loved. But he never imagined it would go this far. He could only stand there, unable to do anything. Caleb's death was an unavoidable end, and it tore apart any hope left in Greg. Even if he wanted to turn back, he couldn't erase this nightmare that would haunt him for the rest of his life. 1 week later, Greg lies in the hospital, his burns light but his heart heavy. The TV shows Caleb covered by a white sheet. The room feels suffocating, the guilt weighing even heavier. He can't escape the haunting images and the relentless question, why? Every time he closes his eyes, memories of Caleb remind him of the destruction he caused. Greg returned to work, but the atmosphere in the kitchen had changed. The deep fryer automatically turned on every time he approached, the oil bubbling furiously. In the stainless steel reflection, Caleb stood there, his empty eyes staring at him. Panicked, Greg shouted. The fear rose, and with every passing second, the obsession tightened around Greg's mind, trapping him in this endless nightmare. In the dark room, Greg clutches his head, his eyes fixed on the old photo of Emma. Oil drips from the ceiling. The walls groan. Caleb's face in the frame melts, like a nightmare with no escape. Greg can't tell what's real, what's fake. His heart beats wildly, screaming, but no one hears. All that remains is the sound of oil dripping and Caleb's face distorting. Late at night, Greg stands on the 4th floor balcony, knife in hand, screaming wildly. He charges into the illusion of Caleb, the shadow smiling in the dark, unshaken. Greg falls. No one screams. No one mourns. Only the heavy thud when his body hits the ground, and the cold light from the McDonald's billboard flashes. Join us. Be the smile they love.